There's more content to watch than ever before. All of a sudden, I'm not sure what's going on. Even the moon is going crazy, releasing videos almost every 3 days. Like, they just found a crossfire of just to pile up content before school time. I don't know what's going on. Don't ask me. This is weird. The fact that I was pushed into sanity dump is weird, as it is. Usually I catch up, my subscription box get emptied, I cry about how empty it is, and now it's the opposite. And I still haven't cleaned up TikTok, by the way. I'm not sure if I can do it on 14th, is the usual. I don't think it's gonna happen this time. It's just gonna happen when it happens at this point. So TikTok is piling up as well. Talking about San Francisco being a failed state. But, disease spreads if it can. So don't worry about that. Every time I think about San Francisco, we had a show called San Francisco Witches, which is like Wicked or some bullshit new different name for everyone else, but we had that. And I'm like, that's interesting. Interesting connection to a failed place where there's homeless people and there's a bunch of crime and living costs pretty high. So I don't know what's going on there, but TikTok is alarming me about it. I don't know. So there's a lot of things to explore. And a seventh thumbnail to make because I'm so tired I can barely move forward right now. So I still have to rewatch my video and welcome the new day. Where is it? We can rewatch the video now that I just made. So that's how it goes. Alright, I know exactly what to do in this case. If you don't care, you're gonna stand your back against the gun, basically. So you can be super courageous, a Superman, but someone is just pointing a gun at you, and they can shoot you anytime. You can be as mighty as you want, and there's a gun on your head. So it doesn't fucking matter. You didn't care hard enough, didn't you? You made a few mistakes here and there to allow this to happen. And it doesn't matter how much self-esteem you have, someone can just pull the trigger and you disappear from existence. So that's one thumbnail I could make. Darkest Times. I could make another thumbnail where someone is wearing a VR headset and the same thing is going on. They're just completely clueless. I don't have to use a gun, but I think it's much more like cartoonish to have a Superman and then he has a gun on his head, and it's like fascinating. Let's do that. Here's what I came up with. Alright. Yeah, you're gonna get shot in the head. Your head is not bulletproof, unfortunately. If you get in this situation, I don't care how big of a superhero you are, this baby's gonna reset the game a little bit. Satisfying death of... Shut the fuck up, dude. And so with this uploaded, we can continue on searching for the exit. Now, if I'm truly bored, like, I have to check my own sanity in a way. If I'm bored, if I feel bored. So gotta eat my own shit. I don't think this works. I'm not sure if this makes sense. Yeah, even if you know you have to be silent sometimes and not try to save people, because that's just gonna put you in danger. And the only thing I can do is just throw warnings of like, you guys have to be more aware. There are solutions. You have to sit down and have conversations, exchange information. This is the starting point. We have discussed this. And it's really important. It's really important to nail it down. Do I have a thing? Yeah, I did this. The only legal move is to create lights. It's a little bit complicated. So let's rephrase that. Basically, we have to find a starting point, a place where we can help each other, because we're all struggling collectively anyways, and we can organize certain solutions and spread them around a lot faster if we just listen to each other and find that place. So, where is it? Technically, I'm not supposed to even know, but I will always say me, 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 me. Me. You know, I can make that place. And if people run away from me, like, you don't need solutions. You can wait. There's more bad things to come. You can wait. Don't worry about it. And no matter how evil or good you are, bad things are going to come your way, and you'll have to deal with that shit. And I could help you, and solutions can neutralize threats, extremes, and all the nonsense. But unfortunately, you know, if people around me don't need solutions, which is always the case, they have bigger egos, they just want to laugh at me and predicting their own future of like nothing is gonna happen. But do you actually spend enough time to predict your own future? Do you spend enough time to get to know me, to mock all these aspects, right, that I'm talking about? Is it really meant to be like this, right? But I understand people have a lack of skill. Their monkey brain turns off immediately. Oh, I'm under a threat. I have to defend myself in the most pathetic way imaginable, and it's gonna work because it's the internet, so it's whatever I imagine to be is gonna happen. Yeah, sure. You can be a loser and no one's gonna know about it. This is why you have to put yourself into public first. In order to find this place, you have to learn on how to put yourself into public view. Now, public view doesn't mean be surrounded by people, because that's not a good idea. All right. Also, you can't just upload a TikTok, get 900 views as I did, and pretend that people have seen me. All right. I have to show my face. I have to get reputation. All these things. I have to get followers. It's hard work. You have to establish yourself on the platform. So which place do you choose? Right? It's quite a puzzle to solve. But honestly, if it's too complicated, then you can actually trust your heart of like, fuck it. Well, you're listening to me, so you know the solution. There's no doubt about it. But normally, if it's too complicated, you just listen to your heart, whatever you can do, so you don't freeze. You don't freeze because you ain't a criminal. You ain't afraid, hopefully. You can do action, and your heart is going to tell you if your brain doesn't spit out, you know, a logical conclusion to your problem. Anyways, let's dive in. I have, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No one has ruined my day. So if I can drain 7 into 3, we have completed the sanity dump. Hopefully it happens now. Again, the feeling is that people leave a lot of things behind. If you're making mistakes, I don't care what life you're living, how real your life is, how many fucking car windows you have broken into, and how many stores you have robbed, or how many stores you have built. Doesn't matter. All right? You're losing power, and that leaks somewhere into the most gravitational places. I have a lot of gravity, but I don't have people. I don't have manpower. I just have myself. So I can only suck in limited amount of power, you know, to myself. Everyone around me would just, you know, they don't have capacity to change. to be aware of things, unfortunately. I don't think. They still have to be tested, sure, but I don't have faith in them. And I have notifications. I'm not sure what the stats are, but in general, people are just absolute fucking dumbasses. And you cannot have conversation with them. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, almost everyone is a dumbass. And they just crash down at some point. But all they want to keep is like their self-esteem. All they want to do is that, without actually following principles and trying to copy my behavior. You know, if I put more effort, maybe copy my behavior. Or just respectfully give up and move on with your life. How would it look like? Because I can show you guys. Usually someone says some stupid shit, and then I'm like, I pour my heart out, you know, because it's fun. It's fun for me. But people misunderstand and think, oh, that's something I can totally reply to disrespectfully. And then your balls get chopped off because, you know, this is how a mafia boss would reply to you. All right, very respectfully, and then you get shot in the face. So in this case, if you talk to me as I'm YouTube CEO, I would probably just pull the plug. You can't watch YouTube videos anymore. But you can definitely start bitching about, and you can definitely upload YouTube videos and try to apologize. I will definitely accept that as an input from you. Absolutely. It's almost like it's necessary. Because if you're an asshole to me, if you're an asshole to wrong people, we should have the power to shut you down a little bit. You know, just like in real world, we have jails. We shut you down from interacting with society, and if you don't learn your lesson, you'll just stay in jail and rot there. Congratulations. You know, if you don't learn the lesson of definition what society is and why you need to be in it, then congratulations, jail is your new society. Try and learn that fucking place. Like a back of your hand. You'll have plenty of time to do that. So, you know. A moron says something disrespectful and lacks effort and then gets removed from this platform. But he can always send us letters, which are going to be filtered, and we have to make sure that the letters are filled with effort and filled with love, bro. If that's not the case, then they're just going to get discarded automatically, all right? And the moron gets more jail time. This is a wonderful time to open letters. If we keep a moron in jail, I will read those letters, bro. Please keep sending that, all right? This is how you deal with that shit. It's just the most basic interaction. You see a lot of effort, you have to be a little bit more careful what you're dealing with, because you never fucking know. That person has some brain juice going on. That person has been around the platform. If you haven't even checked their channel, I'm sorry, bro. You're just floating around thinking that your reality is where it all ends. You know, you have mastered your reality, and you have maxed out your character, and there's no threats lurking around. I'm sorry, bro. What the fuck is he doing on a theater, bro? This guy fucking blocked me on Instagram, which is fascinating, you know. You care about other people's opinions about your Instagram. That's weird, bro. Aren't you a celebrity? Can't just people throw things at you right now? No? Haven't thought about it? I have only one thing to say, you know. So tell me an opinion.
Turn it right here. Tell me an opinion that you have about something. Just one opinion that you have about anything at all.
Yeah, so I could tear you down instantly. Again, what the fuck are you doing in the theater? Theater kid. It's ridiculous, man. I would be embarrassed to fucking attack a person like that, to be honest. Anyone doing stand-up shows, going to theater, like anyone fucking disconnected from internet, they're not in my radar. Unfortunately, I can't reach them clearly. So there is a border, and I have to respect that. If I get blocked, yeah, true. I agree. To make things more interesting, I could activate some kind of war machine that just plows through garbage. War machine is something that is aware of this, the next thing to come, the next thing to beat. So I need like 3 points to beat Russia, that has been beaten by Ukraine recently. In every way, apparently. But so that's that. I just need to find something that is blue, that's still kind of low level. I don't know if I have something like that. Deep dive? Is it deep D? That's good. Deep dive is pretty fucking huge. And now it's talking about Drake and Josh? Not victorious? Are we what's how did I found myself with Drake and Josh, dude? How did that happen? If we run out, I'll just activate some other war machines. No big deal. Yeah, all this, like, if you allow people to do crime, it's still an open window for some people to do the good type of crime. You know, you still have an option. You have some kind of freedom anyways. It's very interesting. And obviously, most people are gonna turn off their minds. They're not gonna care. They're just gonna do their thing that they have mastered, and they're just gonna create a bubble around themselves regardless. And those are just weak people. They're not organized or relevant whatsoever. Once the ecosystem changes, they get caught. Everything gets cleaned up. It's just, you know, it depends on the ecosystem of who actually cares, who actually manages to push evil into a corner and then spray paint them out of existence, or just lock them in that same corner. Alright, I'm gonna spoil you this video. Mac wins, and obviously there's the whole list of things here. 7 versus what? 10? 10 points? Customizability and compatibility. Those are ridiculously important things. And then there's a bunch of crap, basically. A bunch of crap that I don't care about, as long as it works. So you can discard these. We have 6 versus now 7. Efficiency is pretty important. Anything else I can discard? I mean, stability is just a counterpart to customizability and compatibility. So this doesn't even matter, unfortunately. If you want these things, like, this doesn't matter. You have to sacrifice that anyways. For me, like, fucking Windows win. Clearly, this is just a lot. Like, do you really use webcam? Excuse me? Oh, and then you have ports. So, customizability, compatibility, and ports, which allow you to hook in way more things. Unboxing, that doesn't matter as well. What? Jesus Christ. Well, technically we lose a point. Yeah, so speed is both the same. If you get uncomfortable about something, I would never trust Apple, basically. I would never trust to be able to change something with Apple products. And that is kind of disturbing to me. Customizability is like everything to me. And to be able to do like these two things are everything. They're like 3 points worth instead of 1. Everything else is relevant, but seems to be no. I mean efficiency and speed, but who cares? Is it really like you can customize your efficiency out, so this is why it's 3 points, right? You can sort of like push the limits and break like security. You can break some things, but it's very difficult to actually do it properly or by yourself, you know. So it is a question. If you have brain power, do these things change? I think they do. If you use computer every day, it's always Windows. If you're a casual user, you grab an iPhone and turn off your brain. Understandably, all right. So that's how it goes. Again, you must understand if there's two big brands, they're gonna fill in empty space in different categories. I worked in factories, and now I'm realizing the dumbest thing is trying to put on hairnets, beer nets sometimes. Like, what the? Are you serious, bro? Seriously? We're trying to save food from hair, which is still unavoidable in general and so rare. Why are we all wearing extra effort, you know, that will be discarded after you're done a slight shift? Like, you have to like discard that shit like a couple of times and wear new things for this little amount of effort just to prevent hair. Not even like it's guaranteed to prevent hair, because it's not guaranteed to fall in the first place while you're working. Just to prevent, you need to fucking put a lot of effort. I don't know, man. It's weird. I think it's really weird. I think this opens up a more perspective towards like general safety, of just general brand identity safety. Like, if you find a hair, how bad it is. It ruins all the food, right? It's like the worst thing ever. But we're trying to be overly clean, and it just this is where the money goes. If you really think about it, this is where the money goes, unfortunately. And I was thinking, like, we should be able to afford a life, a normal life, for ourselves. After 3 hours of work, we should afford a day. So after 20 hours, we should afford a week. We should afford 3 pizzas for 1 hour of work. So that just covers the food bills. So 3 hours should cover the entire day expenses. Which is kind of, it's crazy that doesn't seem so anymore. Yeah, so what's the problem? At this point, honking noises that still don't stop to this day. I'll just pretend the cars are farting, which is technically very bad for the environment. It's noise pollution for who the fuck knows reason. Like, if we really truly care, we we have to understand what pollution actually is. And the greatest pollution is distracting people and annoying people and causing pain of some kinds. But as you can see, we have to care equally to the customers as well as the workers themselves. I think now the workers are being so neglected that it's painful to observe that behavior, where managers really fucking filter workers and treat them like shit anyways. It's like, what the fuck? How do we got to this point where a customer is better treated than the worker himself? That's crazy, bro. Mind blown. I'll have to deal with these fucking things. Pantry moths. Also, let's check out Penguin Zero. Maybe he covers some kind of interesting stuff. Every month I should check this guy's channel in a way. It's too difficult to read his, you know, labels. I don't think so. I don't think I can fucking use this guy's channel at all. What you can do, however, is check the view count. As long as the thumbnail's kind of average. This is fucking weird. But it's little Tay and I don't care. If I can recognize someone on the thumbnail. Nah. That's usually... Okay, what? This is poppin'. Again, you can expect the good stuff, right? As long as it's not a... from highly watched episodes. So I'm just scanning 2 months of
right now there's a bit saying like,
yeah, so you have this guy kind of juicing sanity out of himself, even though he does it in such a fucking lazy way that, you know, it's not exactly what you want to click on, because the laziness is on the thumbnails, on labeling. What are you covering? What am I supposed to know? And this guy's up there in terms of, like, newscasting, right? Is it, like, top tier? #1 channel? I don't know, man. It's scary to me. But, you know, the content is not bad. But I need the wholesomeness. I don't want to relate anymore. Lucky for him, YouTube algorithm, again, as I've clicked around, I clicked on the most watched videos, so I know they have to be good. So lucky for him.
yeah, we wanted this. In fact, this is what we were hoping for. I was like, what do you mean? You wanted it to fail? Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, don't be fooled by your ego. You know, maybe that's the whole point. Just like YouTube Rewind failed. It's almost like it fulfilled its story. It's a wholesome story, and people don't fucking see it. Because their egos are shut down, and they don't want to even listen to my perspective of how wholesome the whole thing is. I could just re-review YouTube Rewind, but no one's gonna fucking watch my video. Unfortunately. 100 people? Is that a cool story? I will still tell it to myself at some point. But who knows how much time I have left until I have to work pretty intensely.
We make something good. Like, yeah, you don't have to like follow the most predictable shit ever, but at least make good on the expectation.
Maybe there's no need to make something good. Maybe there's a need to piss off the audience. Maybe that's where the story goes. Unfortunately. So even this sanity machine, actual sanity machine, I mean, honestly, there's probably gonna be a lot of name flips around here, Because these big YouTubers have established a title. They're not gonna keep it though. They're not gonna hold their titles though.
And Marvel Secret Invasion are not the only two that have done this recently. This is becoming pretty common for the teams behind productions to get angry at audience reception or any kind of like criticism around their products. And it's just getting kind of tiresome how aggressive that landscape has become.
What are you gonna do about it? You know, everything is becoming aggressive. Pay attention. He got sucked into a sneako drama and he doesn't fucking see the idea that everything is becoming more aggressive. Really? And you just have to pop a few bubbles in the correct way. Or just not watch the goddamn movies. You know? Let them flop. What a big deal.
Incorrect. Why?
Oh my god, there's grooming going on again. With Miranda Sings. From the past. Someone cared still. Fascinating.
I was going to wait a little while.
But it had the worst apology ever, man. Yeah, that's another table that I can turn. The groomer predator. I can turn that. On the internet, I mean, you're just gonna see pixels on the screen, and if no one is like blackmailing you in any way, I mean, and once you grow up, you cannot be blackmailed anyways. Your pictures, your underage pictures are now kind of legal in a way. Unless it's porn. It's fucking weird, man. By the way, a good example of this is just simply receiving things, receiving notifications, receiving invitations or information of some kind. Trying to clean things up. Again, there's different levels of not caring, and I would probably need to create a tier list of how it looks like. But it just ends up really badly when you just ignore everything around you and treat it as if it's like completely fine to you and not distracting at all. Being overly sensitive is a little bit weird because you have to care about your things as well. But being defensive, this is my way of life, to be honest. I'm doing my thing and I'm defending it. Here's the cake of care. Or there you go. So you receive some kind of notification, something is sent to you, pretty much. It could be somewhat indirect, so maybe it applies like 50%. But you get to find different things that you have to do, things to take care of, because it's a quest. So or you can just leave it behind, which is, you know, something we don't have to discuss because that's called not caring. So first of all, let people know that you know you received notification. You can do that whenever. You can just say thanks, I guess, and just move on. Then match efforts. I don't necessarily know what it means. We're gonna unpack it later. Then you out-compete efforts. I would say like bounce efforts, which is what people tend to do, and it is called receiving notification. And then dominate efforts. It's all about effort, basically. Here it translates into that. Kind of fancy. Oh. Only one person replied. How fancy. That's more than I expected. Yeah, when it comes to Tinder, the joke is on you. I feel like I just stopped caring about women or trying to reach out to women. And at some point, they just have to give in to the idea that they're just climbing up the tallest mountain imaginable and pretending that we have to put the effort into attracting them back from the mountain while they're looking attractive themselves. There's no way to like climb the mountain. There's no clear instructions, unfortunately. Not in on the internet, at least. On the internet, the rules are different. And the only thing you can do with Tinder is like, let's meet up. Let's have a conversation. You have to try and spark things and just meet up. That was like the pickup artist way. Because it just internet doesn't work. But I don't give a fuck. I'm turning the tables. I'm saying internet works flawlessly. Except I'm on the mountain now, and you have to climb. You want it or not, you have to climb. Or I'll pee on your mouth. I don't know. This actually like defines everything. Alright? The idea of being 100% occupied in your life while still being lonely means that you're also ridiculously attractive. Because the actual attraction is the gravity of like you're doing things all the time and you just never stop doing things. You can go crazy, it doesn't fucking matter, bro, what people think. This thing you can fall into so easily because you get a body, you get a life for free. If you can use 100% of everything that you have received, you just unstoppable force. And that unstoppable force, in my case, again, based on what you do, I generate gravity. I'm like, I always gonna be alone, but have things to do. I don't actually desperately grab friends and make friends like Mr. Beast, maybe. I don't know. I'm not gonna translate into Mr. Beast PewDiePie strategy. But let's look into the match effort. It's pretty obvious, right? In one day, you reply with as much effort as you received. I don't know, man. I'll say material because, you know, how do you quantify effort if you're just an outsider or a receiver? How do you do that? So I'll just say material, something that is very visible. And you match effort. Sometimes you have to put more effort in order to match effort. It doesn't. So that's, I can't say the same amount of effort, but you have to match effort in terms of materials. So let's say if it takes you to put an emoji down 5 seconds, but your opponent takes 8 seconds to do that, or your friend, well, you have to match efforts. And, well, again, you should, even if you last longer or quicker, then you just get bonuses, basically, bonus time for that. You can match effort a lot faster, basically. But it's still the same amount of effort, basically. Because it's the amount of work, basically, right? Material or work. All right, so outcompete effort. Always do a little bit more. The opponent must respect you. So you're forcing respect. With this, it's like a mutual respect. It's partnership. With this is acknowledgement, right? So I probably have to put that down as well. Acknowledge. Yeah, you always get respect of in some kind of way because people get uncomfortable. People are still mushy little things that can be manipulated if you know psychology and you know how life works. So, you want it or not, you'll be respecting people who have ownership, who outcompete you all the time with efforts, who know more, are faster, and just type in whatever pops into their minds. You still can try and break down their chunks of words and whatnot into smaller pieces, basically, or into different things that it could look like, wow, they typed in a lot of words, but it could just be generated by AI, right? It could just be fake. It could just be a dump of hard feelings that you're not supposed to add into the conversation out of nowhere. Dominates. So, it can be tricky to understand material, but we're not talking about material, we're talking about efforts to start with. And dominance is, a titleship exists? It's a word? Fuck yeah, let's go. That's what I need. I thought it's very complicated because this is about power. It's not really about ownership. You own the vibe, basically. You own the respect. You own the attention of everyone. If you can outcompete everyone's efforts. And with titleship, you're holding a title. How do you dominate an area, right? How do you completely dominate? Well, dominance means that people are not allowed to speak almost unless you say so, basically. It's kind of like weird, like, but it's so much amount of effort that you don't even see the notification anymore. It just gets destroyed by the effort, and there's nothing that can. It's weird, right? Even trying to define titleship, past ownership, is very difficult. So this one is like mind bender. What it means to dominate. But sometimes, you know, you receive a nasty notification and you just crush the effort. By outcompeting, you just need to put, you know, 2 times more. But by crushing the efforts, you probably like do 10 times more. Yeah, basically you're cleaning the entire poker table. All right? You put in so much effort, your hand is so good, it crushes everything all together, and you just clean the table of all the money that is on it. You know, you show the best hand imaginable, and no one can match it. No one can do anything at all. It's clear. It's clear that everyone else lost. When you're trying to outcompete effort, it's still questionable of, look, who's winning, right? It's still questionable. So you give respect to the person who puts the most effort. With dominance, it is fucking obvious. It is obvious who's cleaning the table. And anything that happens, you clean it whenever you want, obviously. But you have to do it to keep your title, basically. Of the cleaner, of what people expect you to do in the first place. Fascinating stuff. I like that. Let's keep going. Again, my mind is blown by the amount of effort I put into this, into creating the title in the first place, and still, you know, the only thing people want to do now is just fall backwards. You know, the world underneath their feet is just gonna crumble down, and they just want to turn themselves around to the apocalypse, and hopefully they survive. The smart ones will have to just dive in and take control over their lives. But the dumb ones just gonna fucking hide themselves, or hide their awareness, hide their care, so they don't have to worry about when bad things happen to them. But it's not gonna stop. Bad things will continue happening. You can't hide yourself from that unless you just confront it. But it is what it is. I mean, you can't do that, Mr. Beast. You can't release 2 episodes within a week. Jesus Christ. You can't do that. Can someone tell him that it's illegal, dude?
Zoom in.
Again, there's a catch, right? Flying in a plane, doing these travels, you're spending money, so there's a chance that you have to fucking earn money, and also you spending time in the vehicles that help you travel. So in both situations, you potentially wasting time, which you have to fill in a creative way without being in the comfort zone. That is the hardest thing to do. I don't know how people do it. It's a horror story to me, personally. One of the most important notifications you'll receive are feelings, unfortunately. And you have to take care of them. It's best to, you know, acknowledge feelings, because if you try and dominate your feelings, like, you don't know what the fuck that is. You can't overreact. You just have to balance. You have to care, acknowledge, and in case you start feeling that you have to do something more, well, it's actually just best to just block feelings if they ask you to do more. Like, fear asks you to do more, like run fight or flight mechanism. You just have to block it away, push away, cut off whatever caused fear. It's not supposed to be a part of your feelings, basically. So feelings can go this far. I guess work can go this far, because you cannot out-compete yourself of how much you can actually naturally output, how much work you can do. When it comes to out-competing, I think it's like self-defense, and then titleship is obviously defending your title. So you put as much effort as possible to feel good about yourself, to actually start generating good feelings. Because that means you're still holding self-esteem, right? In terms of the table that you dominate. Because giving up the table, even once, is kind of a disaster. Like, you still hold chips on the table. Some of it will be taken if you lose dominance, basically. Even for a little bit. Because, like, if you lose any chips from the table, now you're just out-competing. People have found your weakness. So you have been pushed a little bit downwards. It's like when a celebrity gets into drama, if they show weakness, they're gonna be pulled down a little bit. It's a very interesting dynamic. And obviously, if nobody acknowledges you, if you dominate, out-compete, and just your effort is greater in general, if you don't receive any acknowledgement, if you don't receive partnership, if you outcompete everything and dominate, if you control basically all these things, well, you grow ridiculously fast in power. All right, so I guess that's what I'm gonna have to focus on eventually to balance things out, because those are multipliers for sure. But we'll see. We'll learn a lot of things.
Got this.
You'll be fine.
I did not.
This was my worst nightmare.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
I don't want to do this.
You're scaring me. Calm down.
Yeah. There's no point in doing it, though. So, Jesus Christ.
They are good.
That was the 250.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever had a chewy potato before.
That's what you get for passing me!
Felix, I'm sorry for passing you. You don't have to threaten me with violence, though.
I'm good.
You might have done one of those and one of those, but you'll see more. You'll see more power. But I'm not riding that roller coaster. What the fuck? I'm not going to Japan either. I'm not going outside my room. Yeah. See, the funny thing is, I don't have to match Mr. Beast effort. I can just match Mr. Beast and PewDiePie effort combined. And then I'll have more subscribers. It's the easiest fucking way to do this. Yeah, like, even Mr. Beast is playing into this. Like, what is going on this week? Why is so much work of watching things? What is so special? And even Victoria shows up, like, yeah, I'm surrounded, man. Oh, hey, Minecraft is stabbing themselves in the fucking face. Too bad I'm not playing it, am I right?
How big the story is and how upset people are, there is a chance you might see some of these walked back a little bit. So your camp creators just done for? Personally, I don't think so. This isn't Microsoft saying you can't make Minecraft content. That's not what's happening here. But this does mean that you, as a Minecraft content creator, have a responsibility to make sure that your content is within these guidelines, whether you like them or not. I do feel like, given how big the story is,
whether you like them or not. Because they have the power. It's weird, like, Mojang all of a sudden wants power over fucking YouTube content. You can't have Minecraft in your title as the first word. What the fuck? Most of these things, like, make very little sense. I don't know. And also not organized enough for me to actually understand.
these new guidelines certainly do offer
How to prioritize this bullshit. But I hate rules in general. Rules are fucking stupid. And if you have to read guidelines and rules ever, oh my god. Oh my, God help us all. But this is the world that we live in. Guidelines and rules. And you somehow need to know all of them. Yeah, in unnatural ways. Reading is pretty fucking disturbing, first of all. If you force me to read. Because anytime you create rules, you create invisible rules at the same time. And invisible consequences that you have no idea about. And obviously you can't just enforce everything. So not only you make those invisible things, you also make invisible, threats. So we don't know. We just don't know what the actual rule is. Because we don't know who's going to get punished. Right? What does this apply to? What kind of people? I don't know, man. What a fucking weirdos. Mojang, bro. Rules is not the way you fucking fix things. You literally fix things by the opposite. By how much enforcement you have. And then you establish rules of like, what is like the worst thing you can do. But not the other way around of like trying to threaten the entire Minecraft ecosystem that you're gonna take action on weird things basically. And everyone needs to know. No, you pursue people who misuse Minecraft in some kind of way. And you pursue big people and they have to change basically. And you can announce that this is what you're going to be pursuing. But you also have to reason. And that's the thing about rules as well. If we have unreasonable people, Guess what? Guess what else is unreasonable in our world? Yeah, rules are unreasonable as well. And when I have to interact with law enforcement and justice system, politicians in general, they don't have to be reasonable. Fuck that, am I right? No one else is reasonable. We can just slide under the radar and get benefits simply because we're doing things and I put on a suit and tie and stuff. And I know how to do things. Most people don't. Wow, so cool. You know what you know, the only legal move is to communicate, unfortunately. And what Minecraft Mojang is communicating is that they like rules and regulations. That's what they're, you know, they're communicating. And they're even gonna pursue content creators in some weird way that I've never seen before. Where's fucking, where's that Minecraft video? Look, Captain Sparkles, man. Captain, you can't put Minecraft as the first word of your videos. You just can't do that anymore. Randomly, yes, randomly. That's true. It's weird because I just saw it on the most prominent channel, and it's like, what's the problem? What is going on? What is so confusing? Who's getting scammed here? You know, by one word. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's just repulsive. For a game. A game is not supposed to be repulsive. A game does not have gender, you know? But now we feel Minecraft. We feel the Minecraft's dick. It just grew out of nowhere. Again, the reason why you enforce things first and then come up with rules second is because people break morality in different ways. People just do immoral things in different ways and they have to be caught. It's just that simple. So you allow people to report bad behavior and then you try to catch the assholes of the community. That's it. And then if you catch too many assholes doing the same thing, you establish a rule. One rule, basically, that everyone can agree upon. And if people disagree, shit, maybe you have to roll back that one rule. This is how it's supposed to work, and not just like slap a fucking document that people are starting to read and panic about. And it's like, what does this mean? What is that? Am I safe from this? What's going on? It's just such a pain in the ass. Like, does Mojang doesn't understand that fucking ideology? It's crazy. Of course they don't. Of course everyone's fucking stupid. But they can make better games than I do. They can do better things than I do. I'm just one dude with brain. And there's a bunch of zombies without brain. Honestly, we're playing Minecraft right now. This whole fucking reality is Minecraft. I should have titled the first word of this video should be Minecraft. Yeah, you can build one rule, and it must not create a huge panic. This is why Twitter works. You just tweet a few lines, and everyone can read that and move on with their lives, instead of just pasting a document. It's fucking weird. Alright, we're approaching the end. I'm not sure what I'm gonna finish up with. We'll see. Yeah, this is how you label your videos now. Fuck you, Minecraft. Poke. How do you... Fuck it. Mons. Let's play. 20, boys. This is how you label Minecraft now. Fuck you, Minecraft. Suck a dick, Minecraft. It's not the first word. You know, that's another thing. You see those invisible consequences of like how people are gonna circumnavigate, or just give you a middle finger for making a terrible rule. It's like, do you want that one? So that's pretty good. What if I put fucking 20 emojis? Does that not count? What if I put emojis, dude? Just spam emojis. Alright, and then say Minecraft. Does that count? Does that work? Oh my god, bro. What if I say Minecraft? Minecraft, bro. Fucking cancer. I love this shit. These guys are fucking assholes. My god. At some point, authority just loses their minds and they do something stupid, and you know they did it because it's fucking funny. It's funny though. People are gonna be outraged because the whole point of the game is to not play the game. See you guys next time.